like I used to, and I need another notch on my belt. If you're looking for a six-pack, muscled up kind of man, better look somewhere else. Yeah, I can stand to lose a few pounds, but for right now, I'm working on my dad.
It's bacon time, guys. Hello and happy Thursday. Filling in for Aaron is me, Marco, the Hot Take Kid. We got some new bells and whistles going on as we're fiddling around with the StreamYard to see what's going on and how we can upgrade our production. So we got some new music, some new backgrounds, some cool headers, and we're going to bring in some of our regular panel of great dads out there. Welcome, Troy, our Bills Mafia representative. Troy, how you doing today?
Doing great, Sharko. That's good stuff.
Great stuff.
Good old Jim Johnston, man.
We got another good one here. Welcome aboard, TJ. How you doing tonight?
What's up, fellas? What's up? Dude, that song just gets me hyped every time it comes on.
DJ!
Oh, man. It's such a good song.
Good song.
Oh, hell yes.
Bob that head.
All right. What is going on?
Brad,
Nice
what
to
is
be
up?
back
What
on
is
tonight.
up?
What is going on? Ready to dive in. A lot of sports, a lot of news going on this week, man. There's so much. I tell you what, this time of year, there is so much going on.
What?
So much.
So much. Can I have another beer?
What?
And another whiskey?
What?
And another injury?
Oh.
Wait a-
Speaking of, man, did you just see Cole Holcomb tonight? Holy crap, I think he broke his leg.
No.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys.
Oh, we got the bad guy coming
Somebody
here.
sneak into the ring unattended. Look at this.
Did we wake you, Ben? Did we wake you?
That's right.
How we doing, gentlemen?
What's
The
up,
bad
big
guy.
man?
Marco, I thought you'd be rolling in with the wolf pack.
It's queued up. It's queued up as host. I'm already in the ring, so I had the
Already in
theme
the
song
ring.
going. So
Well, shouldn't that music be playing, as you're already standing there getting ready to introduce the other people coming out to the what are we doing here? Is this a Money in the Bank match or what?
first game jitters. We'll figure it out. You know what I mean? We'll figure it out.
Survivor Series. Here we go.
So what injury were you
Strive to
guys?
survive.
What injury were you guys referencing just now with
Cole Holcomb for the Steelers linebacker. He went to tackle. I think it was D-Hop across the middle, and I think the safety came across and kind of leg whipped him right below the knee, and then pretty sure it looked like a fracture.
He went down. He grabbed that leg right away. I mean, it was just like there was no doubt he was done.
Yeah, and the safety looked down as he was walking by, and he kind of even closed his eyes. So it wasn't good. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they listed as a knee on the just now when I came upstairs. They're saying it's a knee injury, but yeah, it's didn't look good.
Yeah.
Terrible. So yeah, we got some new bells and whistles. I don't know if you can see some of the things with regards to the StreamYard banner up there. So some things to help people kind of follow along as we're talking about our topics, and we're going to jump right into it, guys. Baseball season is over. The Texas Rangers are the champs. How does that make you feel? Yeah.
Only five left.
Hey, kudos to the Texas Rangers. I'll say it first, man.
Four.
Anytime a franchise is able to go out and win their first overall championship is a big deal. It's a huge deal. They got a young roster. I mean, really, 90% of the season they dominated, and they had a small lull right at the end of the season, squeaked in as a wild card because that division was tough. I mean, shoot, you had 3 90-game winners in that division. I mean, that's to me that's the sign of a good ball club coming out of a good division that have been battle tested all season. Hats off to Corey Seager making history, being a 2-time World Series MVP with 2 different teams. I mean, there's just a lot of things that came together for Texas, and I think that they're going to be a team to be reckoned with moving forward. There's nobody going anywhere. So again, all the flowers, all the kudos, all go to Texas. There's really nothing else I'm going to say because that's what they deserve.
Well, Bruce Bochy's another guy I want to call out here. I mean, the guy has cemented his legacy as well as being one of the best managers we've seen. It's the guy. Speaking, giving his flowers, Bruce Bochy's earned it, and then my guy's Max Scherzer, man. Like I love watching the guy pitch. Not that he's a huge part of this run as a whole. He had some big games, but happy for him as well. Beating his old team to boot, his original team that drafted him. Gotta love to see it as well. So TJ might be the stick in the mud, but that's okay. Most of those Annapolis folks kind of are, but we'll forgive him for that.
Hey, real quick, I don't know what Scherzer's plans are here in the future. I mean, he is coming up on 40. I mean, it's a shame that he wasn't healthy going into this World Series and being able to pitch well, because how perfect of a storybook ending would have that been for him?
Right.
I mean,
well, he's got another year in the contract. So I think right now you're looking at a guy who can play another year. The money's there. The good team's there. I mean, you went to the Mets the idea of trying to chase World Series. You're on a team that just won one. Run it back and see what happens, right? Trying to stay healthy and try and get through a season. Maybe you load manage a little differently and try and backload your season next year.
Yeah.
I think it's a great point, but I think, like you said, storybook end this thing. Finish up with the Rangers. Keep the Astros out of it again, please, and we'll go from there.
So he opted in for 2025. So he's gonna try to run it back, or he'll be there for the near future. We'll see what happens.
He opted in for 2025 as well.
That's what I just read. Yeah. So it includes a vesting option for 2025, and then I saw another article that said he opted in for his final year of his contract. So I think he's good to go, but someone might correct me.
Yeah. And Ben, just to correct you real quick, it is 5. It's the Mariners, the Padres, the Rockies, the Rays, and the Brewers.
And the
Brewers, right? No, you're right.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that.
So where do we put Bruce Bochy on the Mount Rushmore of managers for baseball?
Man, that's one of those things.
On the Mount Rushmore, that's for sure.
Well, baseball's so hard that way, though. Like, baseball's one of those things that not really even doable. History is long enough as far as American sports go. You're talking. Well, it doesn't make sense. Like, even Mount Rushmore doesn't make sense anymore. I mean, it's in of itself. I think you look at baseball and baseball managers. There's people that I can't stand that the reckoning is now. Joe Torre is one of them. I can't stand the man. Tony La Russa is one of the biggest scumbags in the league, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
But I recognize him as being a great manager. It's all that said. Terry Francona, he's had his ups and downs. It's a guy that I think that also you got to recognize for what he did in Boston, if nothing else. So I don't know. It's a tough conversation, but looking again at my narrow-sighted fan view here, it's the guy who's had a lot of headlines this week for a guy who's, I don't know, a slight man. Craig Counsell making the rounds in the interview circuit, supposedly. You shake your head all you want, Marco, but you got everyone.
Do something is all I want. Do something then. You know what I mean?
Look, you have the Mets, the Guardians, and the Astros all supposedly talking to the guy to manage their teams. I mean, that's not nothing. That's something. So the Brewers want him back. You get all this stuff going on. This is a World Series champion of himself. He's been the best manager in the Brewers' history, talking about a team that has not won a World Series yet. One of the most winning managers in the National League the last decade. Here we are, and we've been that close, but hasn't gotten over the hump. So I'm curious what will happen there. It's a storyline worth watching. especially in what I think is a relatively weak free agent market this year.
Well, how many times have we seen in different sports too, where that one guy takes a team so far and can never get over that hump, and he switches teams and takes them over the hump? It happens so often.
How many wins is a manager really worth, though? How many wins do you think a manager is really worth? 10?
In baseball?
In baseball.
35. That's what Bochy did to the Rangers.
Right? Okay.
I mean, especially when you're talking about managing pitching staffs, it's a big difference. And I think you look at how I'm going to talk against myself here. Counsell managed against himself against the Diamondbacks this year. 1 inning too far in both those games we lost to them. If he pulls Peralta 1 inning earlier, if he pulls Burns 1 inning earlier, we might win those games. But they went 1 inning too far, gave up the runs that led to our loss. The bullpens were shut the Diamondbacks down. So it's one of those things that the whole playoffs shift based on really 1 inning in 2 different games. The manager does matter. And I think that's where you look at the Brewers also have had guys that we saw. I mean, again, not all the Brewers, but this is what I know because I watch the most. We've seen the difference that our managers can make. Look at the Astros. Dusty Baker has made a difference with the Astros. It's one we've all been able to watch, firsthand. You've seen the difference with teams like the Red Sox, and they had the right managers there, the wrong managers there. The Cubs, again, he had the right guy in place. Lou Piniella was fun to watch, but he wasn't the right guy to get him over the hump. So, at the end of the day, I look at this and say that the manager definitely does matter. If it's a difference of 10 wins, it's a big deal in baseball.
TJ, is Brandon Hyde the guy for Baltimore that's going to get them over the hump? Have they reached the hump, or were they too early? Was this too young of a team?
Honestly, I will say the same thing I've told everybody who's around this area who are O's fans. This team is just getting started. 100%. I mean, like, it doesn't matter if you say they just had a great season. Next year, they're going to go back to the typical Orioles, magic loss. No, dude, I see next year they're going to take the AL East, and not even are they going to take it, they're going to run away with it in the first month of MLB season. They are so strong in the minor leagues still that Brandon Hyde is taking what he's learned through his years with the Astros, because the Astros did the same thing. They bulked up their minor league. They came into 2017. They brought trash cans and the best players from the minor league and won a title. Then he goes to the O's.
Where's the LA Knight? Yeah.
But then he wins a World Series. He comes to the O's. Kind of, he stumbled. I mean, the O's kind of stumbled, but they were smart with it too. They were picking up really good draft picks. They were picking up great prospects that they could really work on through that minor league system. Worked their way up, and then last year, I mean, going from 105 losses 2 seasons before to 102 the next year, dude, they're just starting, and they're just lighting that wick. And when that firework goes off, shit, I'll probably be 35 years old.
No, I agree. I think the Orioles definitely are here to stay for a little while at least. They got such a young club, like he was saying. They still have guys in the minors that they haven't even brought up yet. This year was one of those weird things where their young ignorance was either going to take them all the way, or it was going to bite them, and it ended up biting them. But
the other thing that I truly enjoy, and I don't know. Now, I haven't really watched any baseball outside of, the west of the Mississippi. I mean, anything outside of Texas as well. But the O's did something that I haven't seen a lot of teams do. They brought some of their minor league guys, and they would bring them up, put some of their, top-notch guys down on the 15-day DL. Bring some of the dudes from the minor league up. Give them that feel of what MLB baseball is, and then they'd slowly bring them back down to minor league, and they were giving them that taste of, hey, this is what the show is. So get yourself ready. And I think that's something that not a lot of teams have done. If the O's continue to do that, like I said, I think this is just the beginning.
The Cubs kind of did something like that, and I think the whole scouting your own players is changing a little bit. Like I say, 24 is the new 28. 28 age season used to be the come up year. That's when you're going to see this guy in his prime. Now they want him at 24 to be in their prime. We had 3 guys on the Rangers roster, or rather the Diamondbacks roster, that were 21. And instead of, they need to get 500 at bats in the minor league system, it's like, let's bring them up for a weekend against some quality or lower quality pitching that we can see on the advanced schedule to see who they're going to go up against, and then send them back down. Cubs did that with Christopher Morel, Matt Mervis. They do that with guys that we're excited to see come up before we end up trading them away or something. But yeah, so I think the whole dynamic of young baseball players in systems has kind of changed a little bit, and that's exciting to see, and it's fun for baseball.
Yeah, and I think it's very smart. I mean, that's just my thing. You want to give them a taste of what the show is like. Bring them, like you said, bring them up for one of those mid-level games. You don't want to bring them up with somebody who's stupid hot, because I feel like it's going to take the fire away from them. So you do something like that, perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Well, to kind of wrap this up, I think I actually read this afternoon that the World Series was one of the lowest rated World Series in a long time. And to be honest, though, I actually watched more of this World Series than I had maybe in the past years, and they were all but Game 2, and that was the game the Diamondbacks won 9-1. I mean, they were close games. Hell, even Game 5. I mean, it's a 1-0 game going into the ninth. I mean, that's not, those aren't blowout games. They're all 1-run games, 2-run games.
No, Game 4 was a blowout, wasn't it? That's where they put up they put 10 runs in the first 3 innings. I mean, they scored 4.
It was 11-7.
Oh, 11-7. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't even know if it was really that close. I think they scored 4 runs in the 8th to get to 7.
Back in it, yeah.
But it was more fight in that contest than the record or the games the Rangers in 5 would dictate. I think it was a close.
I thought it was eerily similar to last year's World Series, to be honest, where you had this hot wild card team come in, take a run at it, and then just lost steam in the World Series, and that's exactly what happened to the Phillies last year.
I think the Brad's point, though, is we get to see a lot of. It's a better World Series than the ratings dictate. Yeah. And what we also have to see here is a lot of young talent coming up. Corbin Carroll had his coming out party. Like, we get to see one of the best players in baseball make a name for himself. We get to see Gabriel Moreno, who's kind of the odd man out of Toronto at catcher, show himself as being a mainstay for Arizona as well. So a lot of key players, I think, made their careers through this playoff run in this World Series. And unfortunately, the average baseball fan was too ignorant to watch it. But it really was a good World Series and a great playoff to watch.
I was really pulling for Gallen to throw that no-no last night.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's 2 things I want to kind of touch on real quick. One, and Troy, this is going to go back to you as well. The Rangers have a closer by the name of Will Smith. Played for the Braves, won the World Series. Got traded to the Astros. Won the World Series. Got traded to the Rangers and won a World Series. He is the only player that they've said in MLB history to have back-to-back World Series championships. So this
not just major league history, any major sport history. So,
and then
3 different teams, 3 championships.
Yeah, you know who had them before that?
The Brewers.
It's like the Marian Hossa curse. All right, guys. Another cool thing that came out this week, and let's see if I can figure this one out. The new NASCAR cars. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. And I don't know what's going on here. Oh, boy. Here we go. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, boy.
I don't know.
Oh, boy. Do you guys see this?
No.
All right. Why is it not showing me?
I mean, we could talk about
this is live TV, guys. Live TV.
I mean, are any of you guys really big into NASCAR? TJ, you follow it pretty heavy? Any of you other guys?
I'm not gonna lie. This is one of those things I have passed on.
Yeah.
Really?
There you go.
I used to watch it for nearly regularly. When they went to this,
to winning, on and off the track.
Go ahead, keep talking.
Which is why Mustang has won some of the greatest races in the world.
The important parts in the
But we
middle.
never stand still, because if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. A new Mustang is a momentous thing, and our new 7th generation Mustang takes all that we have learned over 60 years and moves the game to a
Commercials really loud.
whole new level.
Wow.
It's the Mustang.
It's not a
you
commercial,
never
it's
saw
a
coming.
highlight,
And that
a
means
reveal
a
of the
whole
new
new
Mustang
Mustang to
Dark
compete
Horse
for NASCAR
and
glory.
the new
The
car,
new 2024 NASCAR Mustang Dark
2024
Horse.
Mustang that's going to be revealed at
This new
Daytona
Mustang Dark
500.
Horse is poised to join Ford's stable of racing Mustangs.
No, you guys aren't
Conquering
hyped up
biggest
about the new
motorsport
Ford Dark
stages that
Horse
exist
hitting the
around
streets
the
and
world.
hitting NASCAR?
All in
I'm
the
sure
name
we
of
got some
victory.
dads out here
This
that
is
will
Mustang.
appreciate the fact
And
that
this
oh, I'm
TJ
sure some
is the
will.
2024
pumped up about this
NASCAR
like
Mustang
no.
Dark Horse.
Now, I will say that
Now,
If-
Katy
if-
Perry sing Dark
if,
Horse to that commercial, I'll watch it some more.
if you you actually can't knock NASCAR until you've actually been to a race, because
No, it's
being
fun.
at a race day is a lot of fun. And I actually went, dude, in the heyday of NASCAR back in like the early mid '90s. My parents always got a set of 4 tickets to go to Michigan International Speedway, Brickyard 400. They went down to Bristol and Martinsville a couple times. So we had a chance to like really see some neat races. And I mean, I don't know. I don't watch NASCAR that much anymore. I just kind of, if it's on, whatever, I'll take a nap.
Your point there, Brad. Yeah.
Go ahead, Ben.
I also was kind of more the 90s and early 2000s. I watched a little bit. Like Jimmy Johnson was a guy I like to watch. Kind of a reference point in my era I was really enjoying. But it's one of those things that I have other interests that I follow, and that's just one of the things I've slowly veered away from. To Brad's point, though, going in person, it's hard to beat in person anything, right? Like I go to dirt track races here, and I love it. Like, so I don't hate it. I just don't follow it closely.
Yeah, my dog was Rusty Wallace.
I guess even you're a Rusty guy. That makes sense.
That's my dog, Rusty Wallace.
Yeah, I mean, most of us are kind of the same age here. TJ and Ben are a little bit younger than Marco and Brad, but Marco and Brad, you're about the same age as I, and I came up right around that, that Earnhardt phase where Earnhardt was kind of dominating, and I don't know, were you guys? TJ, you probably weren't even born yet, but were you guys alive when Earnhardt died, or?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's
absolutely.
I'll watch that.
Yeah,
But,
I'm pretty sure I watched
that
it
was-
too.
I mean, were you watching that race? Were you
I was
guys?
watching that live happening. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you think that was going to end the way it did?
No way.
No,
Yeah.
No.
I remember that day. I remember the race. I was actually coming into school the next day. I was in kindergarten. I actually had a Dale Earnhardt shirt on, and my teacher walked up to me, gave me a hug, and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry that your favorite racer died." And I looked over and I said, "What does died mean?"
Yeah.
Oh.
And I mean, he was the one that broke it to me. Dude, I broke down in class that day, and I was like, "Yep, not ever." And I cried for probably 2 days after that. But my favorite driver is Austin Dillon because he drives the number 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he wears a cowboy hat.
He does.
Well,
And he owns a rodeo. He owns a bull riding team.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how this new crop does. But to me, I think when they stop these races and these stages and stuff like that, I think you're losing momentum. Like it caters to a guy that maybe doesn't have a good car and all of a sudden just catches a good break at the end because he got a stage or something, or you know what I mean? Like,
and it
I
caters
miss
to
the days when
gambling.
guys could dominate races and there would literally be 2 guys on the lead lap. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it also caters to gambling and trying to keep people more involved, because if you can gamble on a stage, then you're going to watch the stage, and then you're going to let it ride on stage 2. And then so it's just, but the technology of it all and the cars of it all is what I found it impressive. I'm excited to see what Chevy does. I'm not a Ford guy, not a Mustang guy, but I know there's Mustang guys out there, and Toyota, I think, is bringing out a new model as well. So it was just something
Mark,
pretty cool.
Did you hear the little sprinkle that NASCAR is supposedly doing?
What is this?
2025 Dodge is coming back to NASCAR.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
And
Yeah, because the three brands are Chevy Camaro, Toyota Camry, and a Ford Mustang.
And the Camaro's getting changed. They're
Yep.
right.
So Camaro is going to stop. The production of a Camaro is going to stop, and they need another brand to come in. And the Charger is going to continue to grow. So is the Challenger, where they think that those two, body styles will probably be great for the Xfinity and the Cup Series itself.
So wait a minute. Are you saying Camaro altogether is stopping, or are you talking about just in NASCAR?
No, they're done making Camaros.
Camaro and
wow, I did not know that.
Hashtag again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
Bring back Pontiac GTOs.
I wonder what they'll go to.
I think they're going electric.
Yeah. I think
No, honestly, like they're.
I mean, the Chevy. What are they going to go to the Chevy Volt?
Oh yeah, no.
They're bringing the Cobalt back.
The Impala back?
The Cobalt.
Yeah, no.
The Cavalier. It's coming back.
That was my first car. It was a 1982 Chevy Cavalier.
I had it. Mine was an 88. Mine was an 88.
I was 91.
That's great. Oh, all right, guys. Let's talk about what we love talking about, which is the NFL, because everybody loves the NFL. And the only people that love the NFL more than we do are Taylor Swift fans. No. So last week.
Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
So last week, week 8, some big games, some stinkers, some key injuries where we lost some star quarterbacks, and well, I guess Troy, we'll start with you because you had the first game of the week against the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like the Bills finally came out of their shell Thursday night, and then all of a sudden, the second half, they fell asleep again. And I don't know if they were playing too conservative or what they were doing. But they let the Bucs back in, and we're a Hail Mary away. And everybody's going to talk about there's pass interference on every damn Hail Mary. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, it happens every time. They're never going to call pass interference on a Hail Mary. But I don't know. I mean, it looked like they were coming back out of their shell and getting things rolling, and then they went right back into it again. What was that? What, Ben?
Never say never. Don't tempt them.
Oh, I know.
Don't tempt the.
Yeah, I know.
They'll find a way.
Unless you get them fake refs in, right?
If they can get Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
The fake refs, Hail Mary, right?
Give him a Super Bowl. That was out of bounds. Anyway, speaking of crying fan bases, the Packers took out Kirk Cousins in a terrible loss to the Vikings. Ben, what happened?
The funniest part is we didn't even touch them. Legitimately, of all the plays that did happen, including a roughing the passer call, it didn't hurt him. We didn't touch them. It was.
Isn't that all Achilles happened though?
Yeah, I think so. Right.
Right. No, you watch the play, you could see it. You could see what had happened. Like you could see his whole leg. Like it looked like he literally went lame on the play. Look, Kirk Cousins, if he wasn't a Vikings quarterback, I'd like the guy. I liked him in Washington. I didn't even mind Michigan State, but he's a Viking quarterback. For now, I don't like the guy, but I do wish him well. I hope he heals well. The Vikings don't appreciate what they have. He is a good quarterback. I'm just going to say it right now. He is a good quarterback, and they're going to learn really quickly again what it looks like to have a horrible quarterback. Josh Dobbs is not good. Jaron Hall is even worse. And they almost gave that game back to us, which we had no business even being a part of. So the Vikings did the same thing in Chicago a few weeks ago, tried to give it to the Bears, and the Bears are like, what's a win? So it's just, I mean, no matter how you slice this one, the Vikings are done. The Lions are going to have the absolute cakewalk to the division this year. Good for them. Hope they do well with it. But no, look, I'm not crying about it. We got the Packers are where we are. We got cap room this offseason. We're going to have comp picks. I'm not saying that I'm still watching every game. I'm still going to enjoy myself, but it is what it is, man.
TJ, your Cowboy 43 burger or the Texans losing by 2 to the Panthers and what was probably the worst game of the weekend, or your Ravens? Which NFL team do you claim?
Sir, that is utterly messed up.
Wait, he's wearing a Titans jersey, isn't he? Is it Titans jersey?
No.
It's a Houston Oilers jersey.
That's a traditional Houston.
I know that.
Technically, they moved to Tennessee. It's a Titans jersey. Legally.
He's not wrong.
Are we gonna Vogue this shit now like Madonna? So, yes, I am a Dallas fan. Come at me, anybody. I don't give a fuck.
No, we get your flowers for putting up, doubling up the Rams.
And I'll be honest with you, the Rams were like everybody kept saying the Rams were going to do something. I wanted this to be a solid game, but I was a little upset. Yeah, Dallas won. Woo! Thank God. As a Dallas fan, when we lose, it's kind of something we're used to. Unlike Ben down here and Aaron crying about a loss. I'll take it on and walk away.
Oh.
When did I cry?
Well,
But outside of that, I'll be like this. It was very fun to watch. It was a good game. Dallas's offense is finally coming to where I think they're realizing Pollard really is not going to be that number one as a running back. I think he's more. He's wasn't fully put in that starting spot to where he was comfortable. He was more of that second back where Zeke would get the chunk of the yards and then he would come in and get the rest of it.
So you're missing Zeke? Is that what you're telling us? You miss,
I don't want to see Zeke. I want to see the king in Texas.
That's not happening. We're past the trade deadline.
Yeah, I know. That I was
hoping, Path.
I told he's a Titans fan.
Boom! Shots fired back. They say, "Touche."
Come in now, buddy. Oh.
Well, I thought, and I think in this week, there were a couple things that, I thought that Denver dominating the Chiefs this week was
that was surprising.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm not hating on it for it, Marco, because
I'm waiting for Ben.
Because ultimately, when you win a lot of games, you win championships like the Chiefs do. You're going to lose a game here and there. Even the Patriots lose games here and there. Even the Steelers lost games here and there. Even going on. But yeah, to see them handily take them like that was a surprise to me. If it being a division game, I mean, a division game can go any which way any year.
I didn't watch the game or the highlights of that, but Marco, tell us, because I'm sure you watched it.
I did not.
You didn't? Okay.
No, I went to Six Flags for Fright Fest.
Okay.
But it's a total trap game. It's a total trap game.
Well, not just that, but did the sickness affect Mahomes, you think?
Oh, 100%. Right?
Yeah.
If you're on the injury report and you don't feel good, it's going to affect you. And he didn't run around a lot, but the sickness didn't affect the fact that his wide receivers couldn't catch the ball. And this is a problem that we've had now for 9 weeks, that they can't catch balls. It's a problem that sent Tyreek someplace else because he couldn't catch the fastball. They can't catch, for whatever reason. Maybe he throws really, really hard, but they can't catch Patrick Mahomes' balls. I don't understand it. Playing a division opponent,
you can't say that, Marco.
Maybe.
It's right there, buddy.
What is it though? Why can't they do it? What is going on?
No, you're just feeding me lines I can't handle. I'm this tired.
Oh,
they can't catch his balls, buddy.
Catch his balls. They can't catch his
Thank
balls.
you, Brittany, for taking care of that for him. But it's still, look. We heard last week you ranting about him being the GOAT, and this is going to be his MJ flu game, and now no one catches balls.
Okay,
so
well,
Deflategate, here we go. Here goes down Marco's head of stroking the guy who's no one's balls he can catch. But it's look, Mahomes is still great. Everyone gets sick sometimes. It's okay, buddy. He's still young. He'll still win a lot more games for you, but he's not TB12. Case made again.
All right.
Let's not get into this again.
That's because TB12 doesn't throw hard balls.
Oh,
We have a dumpster fire to dig into, and we need Brad to tell us what's going on up at Hallis Hall. What the heck is going on with the Bears, Brad?
Hey, well, okay, so I mean, what, they fired another coach this week. Their running backs coach. Apparently,
that was really their problem. Yeah.
Well, I mean, no.
They're going to turn the corner this week.
I haven't been able to find out what the reason he was actually fired for. They've kept that pretty quiet, but they said it was basically for violating team rules. And but on the flip side, the Montez Sweat trade is, I mean, how could you say anything but amen to that trade? Because I mean, we have zero pass rush, and he is somebody he is a plug and play. He's a stud. I think that, they went since, with all those number 1 picks Washington had on that line, he knew he wasn't going to be taken care of, and a team went and got him. So hopefully that he's a guy that we can sign long term, build around, and just continue to bolster that front end of the defense, because our front 7 really are pretty pathetic when it comes to generating any kind of pass rush and or sacks, because we're last in the league with 10.
So are you happy with the Sweat for a second round?
Yes, I am. 100. Yes, 100%.
Even after seeing Young went for a third.
Yeah, Young went for a third.
Yes, because number 1, Sweat's the better player than Young. I mean,
whoa.
No, don't. The numbers are go look at the numbers, dude. Montez Sweat plays games. Chase Young has been a freaking glass chamber.
That I'll agree with.
He's been injured. I mean, the best ability is availability, and Chase Young is not. I mean, he is. How often does he play?
Not often.
Look, it's okay.
He's a chump. DJ, put that on a pillow. He's a chump.
I think Montez Sweat 7 days out of 7 over Chase Young.
All right, so Brad is on board with that deal.
I'll tell you what. I would place a bet right now that after 2024, from now till the end of next season, Chase Young has more sacks, more tackles.
Well, yeah, he's on a better defense. I mean, you got Nick Bosa lined up next to you.
Yeah, he's going to be on a team that's going to be up, and the opposing team's going to be throwing the ball. The Bears aren't going to be up. They're going to be.
He has no one else fighting him for sacks. I mean, you're talking about a guy that it's Yannick Ngakoue is washed. I mean,
pretty much, yeah. The way he's played so far this season, he hasn't played well at all.
So my point here is that Chase Young, yes, he has been hurt with a long recovery on that injury that affects his burst and his speed. But Chase Young, pure talent-wise, and I'm a Mississippi State guy. We've talked about this before. Montez Sweat's a guy I like. He's a very talented player. But Chase Young's a better player skill set-wise. It's not close.
Right, so who's taking this bet? So who's taking this bet? We'll put a jersey on. The winner gets the either a Sweat jersey, a Sweat jersey, or a Young jersey. That's the wager. And I'll take Sweat sacks post 2023 versus Young. I'll get in on that.
So
there you go, Ben.
All right,
got somebody taking you.
All right, it's in the notes. It is written.
It's live on Facebook.
Any other key matchups from last week that you guys want to?
Bengals, they're back.
The Bengals are back.
Yes.
The Bengals are back. The aforementioned 49ers defense was unable to hold the Bengals to under 30 points, and Cool Joe is doing the thing and putting up points and almost 300 yards, 3 TDs.
That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the Bengals back right before we play them. That's awesome.
Serious question for you guys. What's wrong with the Niners? I'm asking the questions. I'm watching.
I think you're realizing how much of a cog Deebo Samuel actually is in that offense. Is what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you don't have arguably the most dynamic, put the ball in his hands, play after yards after catch personnel. Maybe other than Tyreek Hill.
Yep. Put it in his hands and let him go. I mean, put him anywhere on the field and give him the ball, let him go. Like he can line out, outside, inside, backfield, whatever.
But I also think like Brock Purdy getting his bell rung and having that part concussion has been, he ain't right. And
how they kept him in the game is weird.
Yeah.
He recovered really fast.
The defense has regressed also. That's don't be wrong. The Bengals have a good offense. You've got great players there. I get it, but the Niners defense is good.
Yeah, their secondary has been suspect.
Yeah, like what? I don't know. It seems off to me. Something's not right. I don't know.
I think that's a little unfair, and I'll only say that talking from experience because of what the Bills' offense is going through the last few weeks too.
Sure.
And a lot of it got put on the defense because they're like, oh well, the defense is letting a lot of points up. Well, yeah, no shit. When your offense goes 3 and out every time or turns the ball over at the 20, it's going to make your defense look a lot worse. You know what I mean?
And I'll go back to the Browns game. Shanahan lost that game.
Fair. That's fair.
So he blew that one.
I'll agree.
The Vikings were clicking on all cylinders on Monday night. Another 1-score game that went their way. But yeah, I personally don't understand what the hype is for the 49ers. I understand. They have a great defense, but the Chiefs showed in the Super Bowl that they weren't that great, and they exposed them. Shanahan can't coach with a lead. They're a one-trick pony, and now they have 2 ponies, and they can't figure out how to make them work. And yeah, I just don't understand the love that the Santa Clara 49ers get.
I guess what I'm seeing right there is that O-line's not good, and that's where I think we still have and I heard it on the radio the other day, and I agree with this. In my mind, I still thought about the line from a few years ago, and they're all gone now. If you look at their O-line depth chart, that O-line's not good. It's a bad O-line in San Francisco that's been bailed out by Christian McCaffrey. Yeah. But again, I asked the question because I can't quite put my finger on it. Like I said, Shanahan lost a game, got it. The Vikings got ticked off. They won a game, okay. And the Bengals are surging. It hits weird. I know you don't see it, Marco. I see the Niners as being one of the best teams in the NFC right now as far as total talent set. Brandon Ayuk is legitimate.
Total frauds.
TJ Shinker last year. The Cowboys are legitimate. The Cowboys are a very good team, and they embarrassed the Cowboys on national television. Like that's a barometer. That's a test. That's a litmus test.
But then they let the Browns beat them. But then they let the Browns beat them.
The Browns aren't that bad. The Browns are.
They had the lead, but they had the lead. Anyway, let's go into this week and the barn burner that's going on right now. If anybody's watching the 13-10 Houston, Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh.
Can I just say real quick? It is the NFL, and sometimes you're going to get these weird games that don't go how you expect them to go. The Browns beat the Niners, whatever. That whole week was weird. The Browns beat the Niners. The Eagles lost to the Jets that week. Patriots beat the Bills. Now you go into this week. The Broncos beat the Chiefs. I mean, like it's.
Any given Sunday,
I don't say just because the Browns beat the Niners, that doesn't make the Niners legitimate. I still think the Niners are a legitimate team, and I think it's just going to take a little while for Purdy to come back and kind of get his stuff back together, because I do think that injury affected him.
Any given Sunday.
Exactly, yeah. And that's all I'm saying. Texans,
right?
So going into this week, taking a look at the 1 o'clock slate, I'm thinking, honestly, there's only one game in that 1 o'clock slate that I didn't even want to watch, and that's Seattle-Baltimore. Seattle's got to go across the country playing at Baltimore. They're both 5-2, 6-2. But I mean, all these other matchups are just.
You jumped over the 9:30 game though.
Yeah, you jumped over the
game. The Miami KC game. I did forget about that. It's a little breakfast football.
So. Two different philosophies.
That was a missed opportunity, and I think we talked about that when we had the schedule released, didn't we? But why is that game not in Kansas City? Seriously,
I think,
it's the Germany game, isn't it?
It's the Germany game. I don't know why they did that. It had to be a Chiefs home game, and I guess the Bears had already been to London. The Lions, they were going to open up at home on banner night. They didn't want to have they're not going to have a division game, so it had to be a non-division game. Why they didn't have it be, the Viking game, or do they have to go to Minnesota? Yeah, they go to Minnesota.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Not having Tyreek go back to Kansas City was a missed opportunity.
Totally.
Yes.
So they get two different philosophies from the coaches, right? So the Dolphins have been there. They've been there all week. They're treating it like a Super Bowl trip. They're doing the tours. They're doing media days. They're doing all that stuff, kind of priming them for the distractions that happen when you go to a Super Bowl. Chiefs flew out today, got there this morning, I think, and then had a practice, and they got to stay up all day to acclimate their bodies and stay up all night, or however they do that on their Friday. The team that goes to Europe and is in country longer has won the games that are played in Europe versus the team that goes out there on Thursday night. Do you guys think that's going to hold true Sunday morning?
I don't. I
think the Chiefs are going to win?
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are looking at a bounce back here. I really do.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not so sure.
Is Taylor Swift making the trip over?
So funny you should say that. Taylor's European tour starts next week, so she should be in attendance.
That's a weird coincidence.
I got the Chiefs. She wasn't there when they lost to the Broncos.
I wouldn't put it past Roger Goodell to throw her a couple stacks to show up, even. You know what I mean?
Oh, like, you're really going to bribe her with money, yeah.
Well, whatever it takes to get her there, whatever it takes.
She doesn't have any money. Yeah, she's really hurting.
Saw a video today. Her cat's worth like $97 million.
Yeah,
Doubt it. She's worth over $1 billion now. She jumped over $1 billion.
She's a billionaire.
Yep.
She's good for her. She's awesome.
So, I guess the storyline is the lack of storylines, but looking at the quarterback matchups in the noon slate is literally humorous. I saw a graphic today on this, and I was like, this is, I think, when you guys may have commented, is this preseason or week 9 of the NFL? Yeah. I mean, it's ugly. But I'll give one guy a shout out that I am happy for, and that's Taylor Heineke. I think he's got a chance with this Vikings team to show out a little bit for himself and show he belongs in the league, and could also set the Falcons up for their run here in that division. The Ravens Seahawks is obviously the best game based on the records of the teams. The Ravens are going to win that game. That's what's going to happen. I think they lost TJ there. But then there he is.
It was a long day.
Okay, good. But no, looking at that Browns Cardinals game, that's the Browns are going to absolutely destroy the Cardinals. And if you have a Cardinals player in fantasy, don't play them. One thing I've learned is I've had to eat my words on this, that Browns defense is legitimate, like really legitimate. So I know, that's
I was the biggest Cardinal basher this offseason. That team has hung in every game this season. So I'm not going to count them out that quickly. I've learned my lesson on that. That whatever that coach is doing, he has them guys playing because there is definitely a lack of talent on that team.
Look, I know you know as well as anybody right now from where you're at. It's been cold as balls up here this week, and you're going to be in a much colder place than Cleveland for this game. With those boys from Arizona, with that wind blowing in that stadium, they're not even going to want to play. Like, I saw Leonard Fournette's comments with Buffalo, talking being colder than a Penguin's ass. I mean, like, that's what we're talking about right now is what they're looking at. And on top of that, you got a nasty, mean defense in Cleveland that wants to play. Arizona is going to get absolutely slapped in this game that way. And this is where it's going to be low scoring because the Browns offense isn't that good. But I'm looking at that as being a.
So are you gonna lay the 8?
I would lay the 8. So yeah,
I see
that one's going to be. Now,
you're going to have a Marco Ben parlay? You want to have a Marco Ben parlay going on over here now?
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? I can lose some more. I'm going to lose in this year. So it's
I see it being a 16-13 game, something weird like that.
Just steering the skid, right? I mean, no. I mean, look, the Packers-Rams line confuses the heck out of me. I don't get that. I mean, I love my Packers. You guys know this.
Yeah, the Packers are bad.
But the Packers being betting favorites in this game at any point when the line dropped, I was like, this is ridiculous.
Is it pending the Stafford injury though, or has he been cleared to play?
Last I saw, he was cleared to play via my fantasy team, but it's still that's still questionable.
Do you think that line will change if he is like 100% cleared? Or
look, here's the thing I've got is that the Packers' weakness is the run defense, and you've got Royce Freeman and Darrell Henderson running the ball. Not afraid of that.
Mm-hmm.
So Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are kind of the two guys that can beat us, right? So you have Jair Alexander. Okay, got it. And then it's going to be Keyshawn Nixon, Carrington Valentine trying to make up for the other guy. We're going to get beat by those wide receivers. Whoever's playing quarterback doesn't matter.
Hey, whatever happened to Eric Stokes with you guys?
Hurt again. He played 6 special teams plays in his return from injury, and he got hurt again. He's on the IR right now. So that's part of why Packers fans were so up in arms about the Rasul Douglas trade initially. I love the move, but it doesn't matter this year. We're not winning anything this year. It's not going to matter. So Carrington Valentine was a late-round pick for us out of Kentucky. Solid young cornerback. He's going to get his looks. And here's a real test for him. But anyway, all that said, the Packers matchup here is going to be another game where the Packers stink in the first half. They charge back in the second half. Maybe they win. Maybe they don't. But it's going to be that one-score game again where flip the coin.
All right.
TJ, why do you hate me so much, TJ? I love you so much. You hate me so much.
I don't think that's really TJ. I think he just has a mannequin there where it just shakes his head every once in a while.
Now, I said all of this to get to one game I actually want to ask you guys about. And I want your opinions on this Texans-Buccaneers game because this actually has an intriguing quarterback battle for us in that early slate. CJ Stroud, we've had polarizing opinions on. We've seen him be up and down so far. And then Baker Mayfield. What team do you give the edge? Who's actually what team's going to play the better game here? Who do you have winning and why? I don't know for anyone else. I'm curious what you guys think of this game. But I'm actually kind of intrigued at how this plays out.
So the Texans got the hook on most of the sites at a 2.5 point favorite. I think the Buccaneers defense is better than the Texans offense, and CJ might run into another week of, going, trending downward. I'll take the Buccaneers. If you give me the 2.5, the 3, I don't know. Maybe I'd stay off of it as a pick 'em. But yeah, I think CJ struggles against the Buccaneers. That's my take. Not so hot. Lukewarm.
What about our resident Texans fan?
He's looking at the injury report. He's trying to figure it out.
I actually am because I didn't actually know that the Texans lost to Carolina.
Right.
Yeah.
This all of Sunday I was so busy. I think I picked up maybe one game, but I didn't realize the Texans lost to Carolina, and I just now realized that the Bucs and the Texans have the same record. So,
yeah, man, I need those Panthers to lose.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Houston lost in the ALCS. Houston's gonna lose to the Bucs as well. That's how I'm gonna get that one. I honestly think Baker Mayfield also is really coming around as a solid quarterback. A lot of people were kind of throwing him under the bus, saying, he's been through so many teams, he really hasn't proven anything. Yeah, at a 3-4 record with the Bucs, it's really not saying much, but he's also doing as much as he can with what he's given. He hasn't really been given much into the Bucs. Like, yeah, you have Mike Evans, he's big, but he's also old and he's crusty and dusty.
I don't know. I don't think Mike Evans is crusty and dusty.
I don't think he's old either.
He's crusty and dusty.
He's been around. He's got a lot of miles on him, but I don't think he's old.
Here, TJ. Here,
well, it's good. I've got
your weight.
All right, so
with that.
All right, TJ, we got to address that one right away. That's gonna bug me. So Mike Evans is 30.
He's 30.
Mike Evans is 30.
Well,
yeah,
that's older than the older end for a receiver.
That's old in NFL years. That's old.
The other one, but bringing up Chris Godwin is the one I want to bring up because I actually got in trouble for calling him out earlier this season. So I was mad about a trade that happened and I was in the wrong. Imagine that. I got mad and was wrong. But so Godwin's actually only like 27, 28 years old. So you got two guys there that are legitimate threats. You have Cade Otton, a young tight end who's talented. But I digress. To your point, though, TJ, the line is crusty and dusty, or young and inexperienced, with a less than ideal running game. So please continue. Baker Mayfield is doing well. I agree with you there. But I had to stop you in the crusty, dusty Mike Evans talk.
He's crusty, dusty, and I'm going to stick it that way.
Ooh.
All right, let's get to the games that matter with real football players, like the Bengals and Bills.
Bears Saints, Brad.
No, before I'm talking like Cowboys Eagles. That's a
Cowboys Eagles, and
that's a 4:30 game.
Yeah, Bengals Bills and Cowboys Eagles. Those are playoff atmosphere games.
In all honesty, I think that the Cowboys and Eagles game, I think that's the game of the week, really. I mean, both of those teams are – I think Dallas is on a roll. I mean, offensively, they've been playing super solid the past few weeks. Dak's looked good. He's been playing on time, to be quite honest. He's been looking the part. He hasn't been kind of erratic Dak, all over the place. He's been playing solid ball. And in Philadelphia is that team. I tell you what, man, they're kind of like those old Patriots or Colts teams where, like, even though they're behind in games, they find ways to freaking get the ball late. They need a drive, they can get the drive. They need a touchdown, they can get the touchdown.
It seems like somehow or another the ball always finds their way to help them. Yeah, I agree.
They always find a way in order to just get the job done and win close games. So I think this is going to be a great game this week. That's the one I'm planning on watching.
Now we got the fake tush push, which is great.
Dude, I loved it. It's just like a virus, just mutating.
Let's not go there.
Troy, what's going on? We got Cool Joe is healthy.
I don't know, man. I don't like the feel of this game. I don't like the matchup. I don't know. I don't know what to say. The Bills do seem to respond well to playoff losses the following year in the regular season to the teams they lost to. But I don't like this matchup at all. And I don't like the way the Bills have been playing. The Bengals seem to be rolling. I think it's going to be a close game, though. But I think it's going to be higher scoring. I don't know. I don't know what the line is on that game. Was it 2.5?
Let's see. A couple different places got a couple different 2s, 1.5, 2s. Yeah, no 2.5s. So 1.5 or 2, depending on where you want to spend your money.
I'd probably take the Bengals with the points then. I think it's going to be like a 34-31 game or something.
Cool.
Unfortunately, but yeah, I mean, I'm just being real.
So will the Bills be able to bounce back?
I think so. They seem to got things rolling a little bit, like I said last week, and I don't know why they went conservative in the second half last week. But I just think the way the Bengals are rolling right now, I don't like that. And with the Bengals being home as well, I think that really helps them as well. So it's interesting. It's only 2 points. What is it? 3 points for a home field advantage. So that means they're actually saying on a neutral field the Bills will be favored.
Yeah. Vegas likes your Bills.
Interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have said probably an even money line and give the Bengals the 3. I don't know.
I'm going to call Marco on his classless takes today and raise him 1. So over under on DeMar Hamlin references during this game.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I mean, that's again. Great story, right?
Is he even starting? Is he like? I know he got in at one game.
He's not even active.
He's not even active.
He's only been active one game so far. Yeah.
So how many times we get panning camera shots of DeMar Hamlin jerseys in the stands, replaying video from last year, shots of the trainer. We're going to re-see all of this, right? This is all going to be like redone 5 million times. But I mean, it's hopefully. I mean, for DeMar's sake, we can see the game, right? Let everyone just focus on two great football teams playing a great football game.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say, though, too, is like, how triggering is that whole thing, not just for DeMar, but like his family and his close friends and all that kind of stuff. Like that's going to be, yeah. They got to be really careful with how, if they, not to overdo it.
And that's what I'm getting at. This is our, to your tagline here too, Adam Johnson, the story this week, death in sports is a real thing. We thought we saw one last year in football. We didn't, thankfully. Let's try to, again, I'm hoping that it's not.
Shoot, it happened in hockey.
Well, that's what we're talking about, with Adam Johnson,
Yeah.
So let's talk about that real quick. Did you guys see that? Did you guys knee-jerk reaction feel like it was a malicious hit?
No.
I rewatched it begrudgingly in slow motion because at first I was like, holy cow, that guy kicked him in the throat. And then I saw a clip on Twitter where they slowed it down a little bit. And then I saw some, meatheads and then some real, common sense talk. And it does look like he saw the trip coming and tried to kick the trip away and get to the puck, but his skate rode the shaft and went up. Because if you look the way the momentum is going, you're not going to kick like that. That's just, I know the best athletes in the world are hockey players. To do what they do on the edge of a razor blade at that speed, they are the best athletes in the world. But you're not doing that. You're not doing that on purpose. You're not doing that maliciously. He's not, a murderer. He's not Steve Bertuzzi. But
let's think about the fact that guy's got to live with that the rest of his life now.
Yeah. So I know they're investigating it. I don't know if anything's come out of that investigation, but what a freak accident. And if that's what it's going to take to get another layer of protection for players in sports, to get a neck guard, and let's not miss an opportunity to make a quick buck and create a new product for people to buy. I think it should be done, and that was definitely a freak accident. That
in all seriousness, like it's happened a few times now where we've gotten lucky and the player survived, but now it's happened and he's died, and something's got to change there, because those blades are so sharp. I'm surprised we haven't had dudes lose hands, lose fingers. I'm sure it's happened. It's had to have happened.
I'm sure in like some Czech league somewhere, inexperienced type guys that
right to the Czechs. Right to the Czechs. Not the Uzbeks, not the Russians. Right
to the Czechs. But I get what you're saying. Some foreign league that doesn't have as much publicity.
Yeah.
So, but that's sad and scary. Was he 31? Is that what it was? I think he was 31.
Young 30s, cup of coffee in the NHL on a couple of teams.
He was my age.
Tragic.
39 this year, so he's 28.
Tragic.
It's just really sad. It's just and think about all the PTSD from the people in the stands, like all that. Like that's just that's terrible. That's terrible.
So did the game go on? Because he got off the field alive. No. Okay. All right.
No, they stopped it immediately and said that people need to leave because of a medical emergency.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure unless somebody was sleeping in the stand, they knew exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw the replay of the clip. I don't know who else did, but it was immediate blood. Immediate. It was terrible.
It was
terrible. I mean, I'm hoping he passed out quick and didn't feel a thing.
All right. We always leave them laughing. We had another sports death this week. The head coach for the Indiana University. Give it to the Indiana guy to give a eulogy for.
Yeah, man. Bob Knight was definitely a polarizing dude, but I mean, if there are a lot of people who have heard the laundry list, but out of respect, I'm going to read the laundry list of Bob Knight. 899 career coaching wins, 1960 NCAA champion himself as a player, 3-time champion as a coach, 5 Final Fours, 11 conference titles, 3 AP Coach of the Years, 5 Big Ten Coach of the Years, Basketball Hall of Fame in 91, College Hall of Fame in 06, gold medal at the Pan Am Games and the Olympics. I mean, this dude was a coach through and through, a great coach. And in spite of all the controversies and things that he was terminated for at IU, that there is more than enough documentation and players who have gone on record that played for him that said that what he was doing was right. He wasn't going at them personally. He's making them better men in order to be able to handle the adversity of what's coming their way. And again, he did it in a way where those guys agreed to come on board, and that's what he did. And he was a great coach for it, and those guys appreciate it. A lot of them do. Now again, there is the controversy of him putting his hands on players and stuff. And again, that's all true. He was terminated. He paid the price for that. Went on to continue to coach even at Texas Tech for a few years and had success there. But I mean, really, think about like the place of where basketball was born and how Bobby Knight literally resurrected the number one university in the state to basketball prominence nationally for a long time. And and again, that's something that nobody underestimates or undervalues around here. And again, basketball is religion in some small towns in this state. And rest in peace to Bobby Knight, and hopefully that people can begin to look beyond the mistakes that were made and in some of those instances and see what he actually did for a lot of other people.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah.
All right, guys. What are we getting into this weekend, fellas? Start with you, TJ.
I will actually be going down to Budds Creek, Maryland this weekend. Buddy of mine is drag racing. He's got 3 cars that have qualified already. We'll be down there Saturday and Sunday, and I will be tuning and possibly driving.
Nice. Troy, what's up?
Oh, not too much this weekend, actually. I mean, it's been not this past weekend, but the weekend before, my sister got married, so that was a exciting weekend. And
Cool.
yeah, I don't know, just kind of the normal everyday thing. My stepson moved out probably about 2 months ago now, so they've been coming over every Sunday to watch the football games and stuff with us. So we enjoy that on a Sunday. So we'll probably just be doing that, chilling out, watching some football on Sunday.
Cool. Ben, what's up this weekend?
Dude's weekend. Going to go sleep in a sleeping bag, drink some beer, and shoot some deer.
Solo?
Well,
You're sleeping in your own sleeping bag, not with.
Stuff happens.
See how many we can fit in. How many can we fit in here? I'm gonna go to sleep.
It is cold. It's a great white north. No. Yeah. So we've got, it's kind of a tradition for us. It's kind of that first weekend of November. We get some of us together to go do the weekend. This is usually when our rut's full swing. So we're trying to get as many stand hours as we can get. So I'll hunt all day Saturday, then Sunday morning and get back close-ish to kickoff Sunday morning to watch Packer game.
Cool.
So,
You'll miss the Germany game.
I'll keep updated with Patrick Mahomes highlights. Don't worry.
Hey TJ, you got a fan out here from Toffee L10 here on YouTube. Says, "Hey lads, just tuned in. My new favorite stream. Loving Big TJ's cowboy hat."
Right on.
Got a fan club out there, Toffee L10. This weekend is
That's probably his mom.
No, you know that was my mom.
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. There's been a lot of sizzle tonight. I'll tell you what, a lot of sizzle. But yeah, my kids have bowling this weekend, so I'll take. No, actually, I got to help train some people on some technology stuff at my church. So I'll be doing that Saturday morning. But other than that, it's pretty low key myself. Maybe clean the garage out a little bit, get some stuff rearranged, and get kind of ready for winter.
We getting the Christmas decorations out already?
No, hell no.
Oh, hey,
No,
I didn't even get the Halloween
hey,
stuff put away yet. My wife says
no.
you're getting the Christmas stuff out this weekend, right? I'm like,
Mariah, is that you, Mariah?
There's 12 days of Christmas, and none of them are in freaking November.
Exactly. Thank you.
None of them.
I'm 100% with you on that, man. 100%. Eesh. Couldn't believe that when she asked me that.
So Marco, is your son still in state playoffs right now?
We're still in state playoffs. Saturday, we're going out to Rockford to go face Rockford Boylan. They're the 2 seed in our bracket, but again, they haven't seen the speed of our guys. Their competition, I feel, was a little bit weaker than ours. A lot weaker. So we're looking to put a hurting on them and earn a home game for week 3 of the playoffs. But so Saturday afternoon I'll be out there, and then Sunday we got tickets to see Nate Bargatze, comedian, going to be at the Chicago Theater. Funny guy, and so probably do dinner and a comedy show.
What class is your son play? Was it 4A or 3A? How do you guys rank that?
So he's 4A now. They went up. So they won the 3A championship last year. They do it based on enrollment, and then there's a multiplier. It's kind of confusing because he's at a very small school. They only have 490, maybe 450 kids. So our regular schedule, it doesn't matter. We played 8A Loyola. We played some podunk team from Iowa. So it just fluctuates. And then the conference, they do it reverse, right? So you're in the division, has all the teams, and they separated them into 4 team conferences, tied with for conference championship on that. And then for the playoffs, they split it up based on enrollment. And so we're in the 4A. So we'll play probably a Chicago Catholic team. The name escapes me now, but it'll be a home game when we win on Saturday.
How many classes do you have there?
8. 8A being the highest. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
that's pretty
big. A lot
of
kids.
I think there's only 6 in Pennsylvania here, so that's
wow. Yeah, we got some pretty big schools, man, and it's it's pretty crowded up here.
Wow.
So cool. All right, fellas. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed I hope you and the viewers enjoyed our new look with our info screen and our.
Okay, I think Toffee is actually Ben's mom.
But
Ben is the best. He follows English football. Dirty Tottenham fan.
Yes.
That's right. Come on, you Spurs.
All right, guys. Well,
have a great weekend.
Have a good weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.